Sports were my life. I was 8 seconds away from breaking the school record in the mile, and I was just really hoping I could get the attention of a premier D1 scholarship. And when that was taken away from me, that was really difficult.
The morning of April 2nd, 2017, Sean English's life was changed instantly.
I was on my way to church with my family. I was going to sing in the choir. We saw a car in front of us flip over, and we stopped. So my parents got out of the car, and they went to assist first, and I was dialing 911 in the back seat. And then I went up to assist, and I got out of my car, and I looked to my right, and I saw a doctor.
The doctor was Cynthia Ray, a local physician who had also stopped to help the passengers in the Jeep.
Obviously, we're waiting for the first responders, but kind of felt a little bit more reassured because there's a professional right there.
Before Sean and Cynthia could get to the Jeep, another driver came around the bend and lost control, striking Sean and Cynthia.
And I just looked up and I saw the sky. I thought I was dreaming. I didn't know what was going on. The car ripped off my foot, and the only thing that they had left was my heel.
He was awake. He was talking. He kept saying, "I have to sit up, help me sit up." And I knew he couldn't sit up. If he saw his foot, he would go into further shock. So I kind of pinned him down.
She said, "You're gonna be okay," and I said, "Okay." And she sang this childhood song that would put me to sleep. And you see the movies, the person's dying, and then they sing the song to put them at ease, so when they're passing, they're relaxed and ready. And I wasn't ready to go, so I was kind of scared, worried.
I was afraid he wasn't going to make it. Prayers, started praying immediately. I asked to take his place, and I knew that wasn't possible, but still asked.
First responders arrived and attended to all the passengers in the Jeep, who eventually all recovered. But both Sean and Dr. Ray were rushed to Henry Ford Hospital. Tragically, Ray passed away days later.
It really hits deep. Like, that woman lived 43 years, I think it was, and I was the last person she talked to. So I remember looking around, like, thought I woke up from a nap, but I was in this hospital room with all these beeps and all these nurses and all these people, and I had this breathing tube down my mouth. I got a notepad, and then the first 5 questions I asked: is Dad okay? Is this real life? Am I paralyzed? What's going on? And can someone itch my forehead?
Eventually, Sean stabilized as doctors explored options for his crushed right leg.
They said, there's a chance we could get this half-foot prosthetic, but then there's a chance we might have to amputate it into a below-knee amputation.
We would do all the research because this was all foreign to us. None of us were medical professionals. And then we'd consult Sean, we'd give him all the information.
And I said, this is the youngest I'm ever gonna be. Might as well do it now while my bones and all these things can work in my favor and help me heal.
Sean did lose his leg and received a prosthetic. He then slowly began adapting to his new way of life.
6 hours of therapy for about 2 months definitely wasn't fun, but it was reassuring because every day I was getting stronger, every day I was getting better. The hard part was the prosthetic, learning how to walk on this, learning how to trust that my ankle, my foot will be there, and learning how to use my hips and my thighs instead of my ankle and my calves.
Sean, who had been a Christian since the age of 12, knew that his faith in God would sustain him.
I kind of trusted in God at that point. Whatever happens is in God's hands. I found out pretty quickly that I need to talk to people. No matter what I'm going through, no matter how strong I think I am, I need help. I need other people, whether that's my mom, whether that's a therapist.
It was incredible to see how he handled the whole recovery. Friends from school, they would come in the first time they saw him and they saw that leg, and you could tell that half the leg was gone. They would, break down and cry, and it flipped to Sean being the one comforting them, and he used his sense of humor.
Sean later found out the young man who hit him was driving under the influence. Sean was angry at first, but ultimately chose forgiveness.
I don't condone what he did. What he did was illegal and morally incorrect. But I support him moving forward, and I hope he can see the light of God. And I thought, if I'm holding this grudge and I go into court, guns blazing, yelling at this guy, "Why'd you do this?" that's not gonna help him. And I kind of just said, listen, if you need help, I'm here. I'm in your corner, man. I'm really rooting for you. I forgive what you have done.
As he began to use his new prosthetic leg, he set 2 goals for himself: to dance at his senior prom and to run one final 400-meter race.
I thought this was a bit of a stretch for him. I was very hesitant to say, okay, let's do this.
First thing he said is, "I did it, Dad. I did it."
Very proud of him, and I told him that day.
The scripture says plenty of things about forgiveness and how we should act in the way that Jesus would. And I really take that to heart. What would Jesus do? I'm not happy with what happened, but it's how I move forward. Because what happened is in the past, and I don't want that to influence my present or my future.
His attitude throughout this whole entire thing was never like, why God, why me? It was, okay, what am I gonna do about this now? Sean's recovery and strength has shown me that his ability is stronger than his disability.
Yes, he lost his leg, but he did not lose his life. And Dr. Ray lost her life. He tries to honor her memory by doing good, by helping others.
I want this story to help people, and I just hope that the pain that I went through can help other people realize that, look, if he can do it, then I can do it.